2025 has been quite an impactful year for climate action, climate change, and climate justice at large. From the conferment of Ban Ki-moon with the highest honorary award by President William Ruto earlier this month, to the ICJ's advisory opinion that happened on the 23rd of July, climate change and climate action has seen quite a notable improvement. Joining me in studio to discuss how this impacts Africa and Kenya in particular is Victor Henu, an environmental educator and the CEO of Young Environmentalists at Heart. Karibu sana, Victor.
Asante sana.
Thank you for making time.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start off with the elephant in the room, the ICJ's advisory opinion.
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
Well, it is, first of all, it's a win for us, mainly as the environment and the practitioners of environmental actions out here. However, it's just, as you said, it's an advisory. So an advisory means that it is not a law, it is not legally binding, and that countries cannot be held accountable. However, also on the other end, countries can sue one another. So if you're polluting more, I can sue you to make sure that you are held accountable of the waste or even the waste that you're generating. Yeah.
Don't you think it's a neutrality? Because the ICJ, the world's top court, I expected it to name emitters and how much they have emitted in percentage, and then the countries which are being affected, the reparations that they're going to be compensated. Don't you think the ICJ somehow favored the global north?
Well, it somehow favored the global north. But on the other hand, since it was just an advisory from the International Criminal Justice Court, that they are supposed to give their opinion on whether they are going to accept the opinions of whether the countries will be held accountable. I feel that in due time, now different countries will have to push for these to become legally binding. Yeah. So let's wait and see. Maybe in the next maybe COP 30, if not COP 30, COP 31, or COP 32, we shall start seeing now the fruits of the advisory that ICJ placed. Yeah.
Were you disappointed in the opinion?
No, I'm neutral because at least it's a win. I prefer them giving their opinion that they gave, compared to them being against it totally. Because them being against it now, it becomes now, it's a loss to us that countries cannot even be held accountable, the polluters cannot be held accountable, putting it in mind that Africa pollutes around 4% of the waste, but we face majority of the climate change issues. Yeah.
Okay. So I think countries in the global north are still going to emit, and I don't think they are going to pay countries which are being affected. Anyway, so it has been left to go through a political procedure, and as you've said, we're going to wait maybe the next COP, maybe the next, because this opinion was made on 23rd. All the way from 2019, when this case was first being pushed by students from Pacific Island University, and now to 2023 when it was being presented at the United Nations General Assembly. So all this while waiting on one opinion, not even a ruling. I mean, that's disappointing. That's disappointing. I don't think it's a win for any side, because what is the opinion really about? Because emitters have not been named. They're still going to continue with the emissions. Vulnerable countries, they're still going to be affected. So yeah, I don't think it's a win. Okay,
that's your opinion. So countries will still continue to pollute. However, there's a mechanism of which was previously the polluters pay principle, which says if you pollute an X amount, if you produce an X amount of pollution to the air, you have to pay for the damage that you're causing. So it's just countries that we have to ensure that countries have to be withheld and to commit to the promises that they make. And also the financing at COPs, different COPs that they have been producing every single year. They have been saying the commitments, but we've been seeing the different nations, especially in the global north, not giving them the money out.
Okay. So let's move on to the conferment of Ban Ki-moon by President William Ruto. Why Ban Ki-moon? As a climate advocate, why him?
He has been championing for environmental change and accountability and transparency. I feel I didn't follow so much about it, but I feel it was also an honor for him to be given that award. He has been asking for accountability, especially for the global north nations, to be held of their wastes. So it's a plus, but let's wait and see whatever is maybe something might sprout out of the award. Let's hope that's for the better good of the country and also the environment as well.
So it's a plan.
Well,
underlying plan.
It's a give and take.
Okay, and I understand that there are climate advocates in the country. There are people who are on the ground. There are people who are pushing for climate policies to be implemented as soon as they're being drafted. And Ban Ki-moon, he has been in the field. He's the former United Nations Secretary General. He has been championing, mainly for diplomacy, and then he helped drafted the Paris Agreement. Okay, I understand maybe this might be reasons as to why he was being given that award. But then there are people on the ground, young Kenyans, young souls as yourself, who are actually pushing for these policies to be implemented, to be renewed. Do you think climate advocates will ever have their voice? Do you think they will finally be recognized by the president and now say, oh, you know what, this is a young climate advocate in Kenya, they've been pushing for this,
During my 7 years in this field, environmental field, the goal has not been to be recognized, or most of us have not been in terms of recognition, but rather the impact that we are having on the ground. Because that is what we want to see, a changed community. We want to see environmental conscious generations coming up every single year. And at least when you are older, we'll get to say that, wow, we changed and we did something for the environment. Take, for example, Wangari Maathai, the late. We get to enjoy the fruits of Karura, Arboretum, Uhuru Park. Now, you see, if she was doing that for recognition, maybe we will not be enjoying all the fruits that we are enjoying right now. So it's about the work. If we get recognized, well and good. If we don't, at least we've done something for the environment, and there's contention. Our hearts feel good. I sit down and smile and become happy because I see over the 7 years I've done something, an impact in the community, and it's a plus.
You've been in the field for 7 years now. Has the conversation shifted then and now? Environmental sustainability, is the public educated enough on this topic then and now? Would you say that then maybe people did not understand what climate change is? Because I understand that when you mention climate change, people will think this is a conversation that the West should be having. It's not really affecting me as a country. For example, as a mwananchi in Kenya, it's not really affecting me. Do you think people have now more knowledge of what sustainability is, of what climate change is, of what climate action is? Has the conversation shifted then and now?
Yes, it has significantly. When I was beginning, I remember the first climate action event we did, And the people at the community level are like, what are these guys doing? Because, I mean, we are just having a peaceful protest, demanding for change and accountability. But now the question has shifted to who are these, to what can we do? Because now even the communities want to join. They have seen the direct impact of climate change in their lives. And also, example, the farmers. There's a law that was passed. There's an act that in the parliament that farmers cannot share seeds. So you see, farmers are concerned, and the case is now ongoing. Hopefully by November there will be a decision made by the court, and we hope that it favors the farmers as well. So I mean, the community has shifted, because you go to the community, you tell them that, example, the change in the weather conditions, they have been caused by this and this, and now they can relate it better. Yeah, so the community, everybody in the community is in. Yeah, they want to see the change. They want to see a positive change. Yeah.
Would you say that this interest in sustainability and climate change, is it voluntary, or is it through you guys creating awareness? Yeah.
It is, it's a mix of both. We have had sessions, capacity building sessions with different communities at different places. Example, the conversation that we can have with you is not the same as anyone else. So if I go to the kids, I'll also have to simplify their language to make sure that they also understand. If I go to the community level, I also have to change the language. So it has been years of capacity building to the people at the community level and helping them understand. So some understand, you don't have to go tell them, but some take a number of years for them to understand and maybe see the consequences of their actions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of community, you're the founder and project lead of the Young Environmentalist at Heart. What pivoted you into creating this?
For Young Environmentalist at Heart, my main goal was to see an environmental conscious generation, the children. I happened to do an environmental course back in campus, and I just found myself doing it. Rather, even half of the class or the whole class never knew about it. Most of us never had the knowledge prior, but now, once I got now to understand that it's deeper. It's deeper than the classroom, than the notes, than the knowledge that we get. It was really interesting. I thought, why not? Let me pass the information to the kids. Let them know, at least for them to at least train their parents. The parents teach the community, and there can be change. And in the next maybe 10, 20, 30 years, we might see different ministers and PSAs, and maybe hopefully the president who really champions so much about environmental protection and awareness in different places. Yeah.
Okay. That takes me to the question. Do you think climate action has been politicized?
Yes, it has been.
Yeah.
Resources.
Yeah, the resources part, the financing,
Yeah. It's just about resources. There's a lot of money in the field currently. So if, example, you're a politician or you are a person of interest in the environmental field, you want to, let's say, example, carbon credits. You want to come in and let's give an example of Kajiado. So different people have been displaced. The Maasai have been given small pennies, even breadcrumbs in the name of carbon credits. And you see their lands have been taken before a certain number of years, and they are angry. Either the government or different companies, maybe even at the people who really introduced them, the political leaders who introduced them to these people. So it's a struggle.
Yeah.
People have to understand what they're supposed to do. People have to understand the different angles that every different department or organ in the government or different parastatal is playing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And your plastic ATM initiative, it's gaining global attention. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
What inspired you to merge sustainability with community empowerment in such a practical manner? Yeah.
Okay, so my first visit in Dandora Dam site was back in 2019. That was the first visit I went. It was through another organization, but I spent almost 6 hours there. And first of all, it was horrifying. I could not imagine the sights that I was seeing. There was smoke everywhere. The air was so polluted. Children were running from one place to another. Some were barefooted.
In a dump site.
In the dump site, yeah. And women were running after the lorries that brought in different litters from different parts of the county, yeah. And they didn't have even proper equipment to handle this waste. Mind you, these are medical equipments or medical waste coming from the hospitals. There are also different waste coming from residential areas, from Nairobi itself, there's CBD, from hotels. So all these waste finds itself at Dandora Dam site. Now I ask myself, what happens to these people once they handle these wastes without the proper equipment? That means over the number of years, they will have the rates of skin cancer will increase. The air pollution, due to air pollution, they'll have lung cancer and other different types of cancers that have started to exist in the community. And I thought, let me just place a balance between waste collection and access to social services. Because at the end of the day, they have to eat, they have to take their children to school, they have to ensure that they are paying their house. There are also other bills to be paid. So it's just a balance. We have created a reward system for them to ensure that as much as they are having the waste, they are also accessing the social services in and out every single day. And also they can also buy the proper equipment that they need to handle the waste.
Has the vision for your initiative been achieved?
It's in process. Well, so far so good. It's in process. So I'm hoping probably the next one or 2 years, we might start feeling the impact, hopefully.
Okay.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that because I've been following it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's really nice when you see community engagement and then that zeal from the community to actually want to live in a safe and clean environment. Yeah, that's really inspiring.
Yeah, thank you.
For the young generation to be involved in climate change talks. And so some African states have been accused of compromising the continent's climate future by accepting reparations or green funding in exchange for the question on carbon credits.
Yeah.
Do you think this is a solution to climate change, or is it serving one part of the player?
First of all, I do not support carbon credits.
Yeah.
Honestly, but I feel it's an avenue for people to just pollute more. Example, I as Victor today can be paid by 2 or 3 companies to offset the carbon that they are emitting. So there's no accountability. That's the first thing, the mechanism that is in place. Second of all, different communities have been displaced. We saw the Ogiek being displaced from the forests, and they have been living in harmony with the forest. So that means they are not the enemy of the forest. Rather, it is the interest of different players in the industry to change or to remove those people from those different parts of the country or the forest. So coming back to your question now about the different states receiving different maybe reparations on the decisions that they are going to make. It happens. It's a sad thing. Having attended the different sessions at UNEP and having had different stories and experiences by different negotiators, it's a sad thing that we get to have different countries we cannot always go and argue against each other.
Yeah.
It's so bad. We need to just come together as a front in Africa to say that is enough and is enough. We need to be compensated for the loss and damage, for the climate, for the mitigation and adaptation. Yeah.
Are reparations the solutions? Because we can we can receive funding as compensation. You know, they can say now that the global north countries are going to pay, for example, a country like Kenya, we can receive funding. But then where is this money being directed to? Because I understand policies have been made. For example, Kenya can say, we have made a decision of planting 1.3 billion trees in this quarter of the year. And so when you look at this project, yes, trees are being planted, but then the follow-up thereafter, are these trees growing? That is what's missing in the country. And also the money. Where is this money going to? Because when this money is being given to this country, it's going to say, oh, you know, this is a compensation for your emission. So as a climate advocate, do you think that these compensations have been utilized properly, or is it just a way for, you know, the countries who are vulnerable to receive funding? Do you think it's just a way for them to receive funding altogether? Yeah, the money is not going anywhere.
So I feel it's just a balance between the different countries that receive the different amount every single year. But as you've said, I don't see how it really works, because the different channels that it's working. Okay, well, currently I can see there's climate works. There's the government, the president just launched recently. And we are hoping that it gets to work, because, I mean, as much as they are employing the different youths in different parts of the country, we need to see the impact at the end of the day. Yes, livelihoods have been helped to generate income, but there's also the balance. So we need also accountability measures, that an X amount of money was given to us. This is what has been given to, this is what has been done. So another amount is being directed to this. Yeah.
And President Ruto is actually suggesting afforestation as a solution to climate change and deforestation. But then these trees are being planted elsewhere, not the same place where they are cut. Do you think this is a right directive? Because for trees to be planted just in some random land, not where they are cut, how are we going to replace this ecosystem? Yeah.
Okay, going back to that, there's a controversy that has been going on about Karura, the trees being cut.
Yeah.
I happened to do my attachment there, and one of the foresters explained to us that there's a commercial part of the forest where they cut trees after a number of years, then they sell them to help them run the whole place. And there is the indigenous side. Those trees are not cut at whatever costs. So I think the part that is being felt right now is a commercial bit, because now the forests were reopened. The logging was lifted off the ban. But now coming back now to the efforts that we are doing as a country, I feel we still have a long way to go to achieve that. In terms of, first of all, there are different loopholes. You cannot right now declare a holiday to plant trees, and yet people don't know the importance of planting these trees. Yeah. Two, the different types of trees that are being grown in different parts of the country. You cannot grow, example, an acacia in Nairobi, or take an acacia in Nyeri, you see. So also there's that research bit that people need to know, that this tree needs to be planted at this ecological zone. Three, people need to be accountable of the trees that they have planted. Four, the exact place where you're going to plant these trees. It's okay, well, we are going to take these trees. Example, as per the last holiday, the instructions were, you go to the chief's camp, you get a tree. So, okay, I live in an apartment. So where do I take the tree?
Yeah.
What happens to the tree? Do I know about the tree and the process of taking care of it? But if the government wanted to do a serious, to promote these, the 15 billion tree initiative, they would have done it through the media. Example, during the COVID time, we saw that the government really did a lot of publication and media sensitization about COVID. So is it possible for them also to do that on the tree campaign? Let the people know on the importance of planting these different trees. How can we take care of the trees? How do we plant a tree? Yeah, what are the different ecological zones that these trees can exist? And what, besides planting trees, what are the other ways that we can help? There's waste management, there's spreading the, there's proper littering. There are all these topics that we all need to understand as a country. It's not just about the 1.5, the 15 billion trees that we need to plant. Yeah.
So environmental education has to be incorporated also.
Yeah.
Okay. And so immobility has entered the conversation when it comes to a solution to emissions.
Yeah.
Do you think that it is one of the solution to climate change and the carbon emissions?
Yes. Shout out to e-bikes. They are doing an amazing work. They have this company where the bikes are running on the battery that they have been producing, and right now they are doing a run. 3 individuals have been selected to cycle from Kenya to Brazil. So we hope that they are going to get there safe. But getting back to your question on e-bikes, I feel e-bikes, electric vehicles and electric mobility is a way to change and to help at least contribute to taking care of the environment. Because at the end of the day, it's a little contributions that we are doing out here. It's so scary. Every single day we see that there are all these trucks of vehicles and roadworthy vehicles producing this huge foggy smoke every single second, and the drivers are not even bothered. Maybe even there's a higher power up there that
they're not aware.
They are not aware. There are power plays that are refusing them, these unroadworthy vehicles, to be removed from the road. So it's just a balance, but there needs to be heavy investment in mobility. But we have seen the government also support that. They have reduced. They have brought in incentives. They have helped different circles and different the vehicles that have been imported in the country. The high numbers of mobility cars.
Because I'm seeing an influx of electric buses in Nairobi. Actually, I think right now there isn't a circle which doesn't have an electric bus or an electric bike. And I think for government to support that as an initiative to curb carbon emissions and climate change at large, I think the pressure has really got to them. And finally, you can see that maybe this is a policy that has been implemented and has not dragged through the political processes. So when we speak of sustainability in Africa, we face a conflict between economic growth and environmental protection. How do we strike a balance, especially in those informal communities or marginalized communities? How do we then strike a balance between economic growth and environmental protection? Because I understand for you to actually go to community level and educate this person and tell them that, you know what, when you cut this tree for charcoal or when you bark this tree, these are the consequences and it's going to bite you at the end of the day. So how do we strike a balance between ensuring, yes, there's economic growth and also there's environmental sustainability?
It's a tricky one for the people at the community level, the informal settlements, because they have to strike, they have to know what to do to survive. And also on the other end, there's the environmental conservation bit. So we have been doing capacity building sessions at the community level. You also have to check on the do not overdo, do not overuse the different resources that are there. If, example, it's a car wash, how are you going to ensure that this water, the soapy water, does not get to, is treated first before it gets to the rivers or to the drainage. So it's just a discussion in the community and showing them the different practical ways, because people don't know how to connect the practical bit and the theory bit. There are different jargons that are being used in the conference room.
Yeah, exactly.
And it is not being broken down. Right now, going to ask maybe a person in the informal settlement about the Paris Agreement, they may never know. But if you break it down to them in a very simplified way, for them to understand that, it will be easy for them even to apply it and to pass the information to the different parts. Yeah.
Okay. And your work at YA, it shows how community-driven models can solve big challenges. So how can local governments or even schools adopt similar models of impact?
Through collaboration and partnerships. Yeah.
Okay, because I understand CBC has environmental education as a unit. But then I have a concern, because how are you going to convince that child in Marsabit, or let's say Turkana, and we understand these are areas which actually need capacity building on environment, because first of all, they are being affected by drought. These people are always affected. When there is a rainy season in Kenya, these areas flood.
True.
So, and these people, they really don't understand the jargon, as you've said, that is being used in these big rooms. And I think they have even lost faith in government, because they're saying that they are being excluded from the big conversations.
Yeah.
When these conversations are being held, none of them is invited to the table. And now when they are suffering, when they're going through drought or when they're going through flooding, now's the time we remember them and we want to educate them. So how do we even convince this person that, in school you're going to learn about environmental sustainability and then you're going to apply it in this way, when they have lost faith in the system that is supposed to educate them? So how do you even achieve that capacity building? How do we do that?
How do you achieve the capacity building sessions at the school?
Yeah, in schools and then in those marginalized areas.
Okay, so it's first of all with the school. The goal of Young Environmentalists at Heart was if we pass these skills to the children will educate the parents. The parents will educate the community at large, because you'll start seeing the change. It's a multiplier effect. So at the community, at the school level, we understand that CBC has the environmental bit, but we have aligned our curriculum in line with the CBC system. So the different grades, the different levels that we have, each learner is taken from one level to the other. So we do not just pump them. Example, learners in PP1, we cannot tell them to go plant trees. They don't know what is a tree.
Yeah.
They also have to understand now what is tree, what is a leaf, what's this. Then as they go from one level to another, now we go improving their knowledge, and it becomes a bit complex. Yeah, so at the community level, we have been having the issue, just as you said. Most people have lost faith in the government. They do not have access to water. They feel that the government forgot about them.
Yeah.
But we have always told them to form community-based organizations. This is one of the best ways for them to apply grants. We have tried and connected them to different grants that are available. And you get to see the impact. Because at the end of the day, as much as people might have lost their hope on the government, there are still other organizations, other different people who are also doing the great works out here.
Okay, and how is the reception?
At first, it was a bit hostile, but when you're bringing change or you're bringing development to a certain place, people are always welcoming. People want to see, okay, yes, you brought change to us, so what's next? Yeah, so at first it was hostile, getting to know, because these are different places, these are different people. You don't know about them. There are also the cultural norms that they are used to. So you also have to adapt to them. Yeah.
Especially incorporating culture
True.
with environmental education. Yeah, they may feel like you're coming to interfere with their way of life.
True.
And as you wind up, what is your final message to the Kenyan government regarding climate change and climate action at large? What do you think the government should now do? I understand policy will come into the conversation, but then what as a environmental educator and climate advocate, what will you tell the government of Kenya right now?
Right now, to fund, the government of Kenya needs to fund different organizations in the youth working at the community level. Right now, there are people who are seeking for funds. People need representations in these boardrooms. Policies have been written, recommendations have been written, policies paper as well. There's need also for partnership and collaboration. Also, lastly, through NCAP, the government should also sensitize on capacity building and letting the youth understand more on the different projects that they're also taking. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
That brings us to the end of our conversation here in studio. It has been a very insightful conversation with Victor, from Ban Ki-moon to climate policy to the advisory opinion, the ICJ. Be sure to follow us on all our social media platforms to be part of the conversation. I've been your host, Agatha Nafula.